How's it going? How's it going? Hello. What is it I say? I forgot my own introduction. Konnichiwa, minasan. It's Gray from Wakizashi's Teahouse over in Japan. How you doing? Are you good? Are you genki? Please let me know in the chat. I'm not doing too bad. Don't know. It's been a bit of a weird week. Good things, bad things. You know how it goes. But yeah. I tell you, I don't know. I'm a bit scatterbrained today. I'm not sure why. I've been forgetting my English. Mrs. Wakizashi was laughing at me today because I couldn't remember the word bagel. Don't know why, I blame my age and I blame maybe a few too many beers last night. Could be that. So anyway, what's been going on? It's almost the summer holidays for Gray. Can you believe it? Officially, the schools that I work at, apart from one, they finished Friday. For me, that was yesterday. But I've got English camp, it's called. It's basically extra English lessons next week. We'll be doing those. And I've asked a favour from a couple of friends, hopefully, to prepare a really simple self-introduction video for my students. I thought that'd be cool to see, to prove that, I do have friends somewhere in the world. Not in Japan. Great to see we had earlier. Low spec Linux was in the chat with a nice waffle. Bringing on the waffles. Salty travelling sea. No boobs yet, I'm afraid. It's too early for boobs. It's only 1:06 p.m. over here on a Saturday afternoon, July the 20th. I can say 1999 then. 2024. Yeah. Look at this. We've got Nosferatu. Nosferatu in the chat. Great to see you, mate. I don't feel like a beaut. I don't. Try living in JB's Banana Republic. Yeah, well, I don't know, mate. I always keep politics off my shows, mostly because I don't really watch any news apart from what I see on my feed, occasionally on X, Twitter. But yeah, I haven't been to Pennsylvania. No, I'm not the second lone gunman. Can I say that without getting cancelled? Yeah, what was I going to talk about? So there might be some noise coming every now and then from next door because there's a high school baseball game on local cable TV. One of my former students who used to be in junior high school that I teach at, he's in the game, he's playing. So it's cool, great to see him. It's a close game. I think it's 4-2 or 4-3 last time I checked. So we might hear some cheering going on, but that would be good. Good evening, everybody. Bar Lord says, great to see you. And I've got to admit, I love your avatar. Is that from The Flash? Save every one of us. No, not that Flash. Saviour of the universe. Never too many beers for me, says Jim from Weird Science Comics. How you doing, Jim? Yeah, I've been trying to pick myself up, mate, since the other night. I don't know, I've just been feeling a bit, I don't know, what's it all about? Kobe. There we go. But great to see everybody. Seriously, fantastic. We also have Fear Monarch in the chat. Brilliant. So make sure I've not missed anybody. Yeah, because these live streams, it's all about you. You. That's right, I'm talking to you. You out there, you're fantastic. You rule. The fact that you want to spend a little bit of time with Gray, Wakizashi Gray, talking nonsense, waffling away on, for you, I think it's a late Friday night. Is that right? Saturday afternoon for me. So yeah, I think it's awesome. So good. And for that, I'm going to drop you a clip. Not the one you're expecting, Fear Monarch, but that is going to come later. Thank you. Let's see if we can get away with this. I've got a new Lighthouse clip. I'd forgotten I had this one. Just re-edited it. So let's listen to Willem Dafoe because you can't have enough Willem Dafoe, especially with this accent. I don't know why I've still got Fear Monarch. I've still got your comment on. What am I doing? What am I doing? Let's put this up for this comment from Salty. Nonsense is Gray's middle name. Barlord, it is the reverse Flash. Nice one. Well, that makes it even more fantastic. Okay, as I say, we can never get enough of Willem Dafoe.
See to your duties. The light is mine.
Stick to your duties. The light is mine. I can't do it, but oh man, isn't he amazing? But isn't it weird? I think you were pointing this out last week when I did the Nosferatu trailer reaction, that he basically has the same accent, doesn't he, these days in every movie. But I love it. It's just something about him. He's awesome. Trying to incriminate me. No way. Nonsense is my middle name, yeah. Okay, where are we? So, there are things to talk about today. There is a plan. The plan is, there is no plan. I was going to do a very quick talk on Cobra Kai Season 6. I've watched the first 5 episodes. That's all you get until Thanksgiving when they're going to drop the next 5. And then after that, you've got to wait again, apparently, till early 2025. So I don't know if it's going to be January or what, New Year. So, but this is the face of me watching Cobra Kai Season 6. Okay. I'm going to say it's not great. It's not terrible, but it's not great. And it just feels a little bit like it's kind of unnecessary, you know what I mean? I know they did leave a bit of a cliffhanger. They're going to the Sekai Taikai, which is the world tournament, the competition. So that is the main focus of Season 6, but they're just kind of repeating, relationships are going wrong between people, and then they're going right, then they're making up, and everyone's getting on with each other, and then it goes off again. It's kind of like, yeah, but if you're going to compare it to other things, which I won't mention, recent TV, shall we say, it's still very good, and it gets better from, I think, episode 3, maybe 4. 4 and 5 are decent. 5 was actually pretty good. Like, 5 I was like, okay. 5 left me wanting to see what happens next, so there we go. So maybe it worked, but yeah, overall, a bit disappointing. Let's have a look. Let's just share. Let's share my screen so you know what I'm talking about. I tell you, man, I was a huge fan of the original Karate Kid movie. I was the right age to see it back in the 80s. It was really inspirational for me. Made me want to start karate, which I did back then, believe it or not. Yeah, I used to learn karate, or as we say in Manchester, karate, mate. I used to do that for quite a few years. I've also done jiu-jitsu, if you can believe that, and ninjutsu for about half a year in Manchester, although I don't think that was really official. Ninjutsu, the way of the ninja, I was being trained to become a silent killer. No, I'm joking. Basically, the ninjutsu that I learned was a bit of a mix of all different kinds of things. You got a bit of karate, a bit of jiu-jitsu, a bit of kendo, staff work, bow work, a bit of knife fighting, but using wooden knives, that kind of thing. It was pretty good, yeah. The worst thing about it was we were training in this really damp, mildewy, mouldy little basement under a Chinese martial arts and weird, a weird supermarket in Manchester. God, that was crazy. That was a crazy place to train. Yeah. Anyway, where was I? Where's it going with this? Barlord saying, I hope both are actually good. We need some bangers. Are you guys talking about the... what are we on? Let's see, what have I missed? Movies. You're talking about Nosferatu and... what else? Oh, I've missed it, haven't I? I've missed it. But yeah, Cobra Kai, it's worth a look. I would say it's worth a look, but you've got to really kind of struggle to get through. Mainly for me, it was episode 2. That just felt like, God, it was going on forever. And it was unnecessary subplots, There was a crazy plot with Kreese, who's back. Kreese was trying to get a knife from a cave in China, I think. There was a white cobra in there. Yeah, it was weird. It's kind of funny because he, not really spoiling anything, but he gets bitten. He doesn't die, but he starts hallucinating. That was quite interesting. But yeah, it was kind of, like unnecessary side plots. So, yeah, I think that'll do for Cobra Kai. I'm not going to be bothered going on about it, but just briefly, let me share the screen instead. This is from Reddit, and I will avoid spoilers. There's not that much to spoil, but the general reaction has been fairly positive. People are saying, same as my criticisms, we've seen it all before. It's the same kind of plot lines that we've had. There are a few twists and turns, especially near the end of episode 5. I was like, oh wow, that's pretty good. And the acting's got better by pretty much most of what used to be the kids, the young adults now, aren't they? Young adults. So, yeah, the karate's alright. It's not great. I don't think it's as good as maybe season 2. It looked really good at times. It's okay. You can tell it's stunt doubles a lot of the time. But there are some new characters which were coming from, I think, from China. There's a new kind of villain, a new guy, young guy. He's pretty cool. He's like a too cool for school. Doesn't listen to the rules, follow the rules. He's looking good. I like him. What else? People saying, just a couple of comments here. Why is the Sekai Taikai, the world tournament, yeah? Why is the venue smaller than the All Valleys? We see the venue right near the end. So I won't spoil it. It's decided it's going to be in a city somewhere in the world, but it looks like it's in someone's basement, basically. But it kind of just finishes right there, so we don't get a good look. And going down, someone's answered like, because the budget of this show is minuscule compared to what they want to pull off. It's the same. Don't quote me on that. It's the same reason the Vietnam War outfits in season 3 reminded me of my army pajamas that I wore when I was a kid. I like that. That's a good line. You just got to accept the show, sometimes bites off more than it can chew. I think that's fair enough. It doesn't bother me really, the budget, And then someone's replied, yeah, but listen to this. Like, Netflix shelled out hundreds of millions for some schlocky Zack Snyder movies, Rebel Moon, looking at you, but they can't be asked to fund one of their most popular shows. It's a good comment, isn't it? It's fair. Standout performance has got to be the actress who plays Tori. She's Peyton Place. Peyton, she's really good in this. I didn't like her in the beginning. It's like when she first appeared, I was like, oh mate, she's really cheesy, but she's really good in this. Like, wow. Who is it? Daniel's daughter, Sam. She's not very good. The lads are okay. Who is it? I'm just going off my memory here. Johnny's son, he's got better. Robbie, he's pretty good. Miguel's good. Yeah, they're okay. As I say, it's fine without being amazing or terrible. But people were really praising Tori, the Peyton, Tori's performance, especially in episode 5. So it's worth going on. The new character who's got a real badass vibe is called Kwon. Kwon, Kwon. He's cool. Like, I might even want him to win the tournament because he's such a badass. He doesn't give a crap. Let's get back to you anyway in the chat. Let's see what's going on. So yeah, that was my weird kind of, waffly review of Cobra Kai Season 6 Part 1. It's alright. If you've got time to kill, it's kind of harmless fun. It's a bit soap opera-y. There you go. Not as fun as it used to be. Johnny's been kind of neutered a little bit. Daniel comes off as a bit of an arsehole, but he always has been, hasn't he? You know what I mean? Okay. It's cool again, you guys like just having your own conversation in the chat, and we've got some good recommendations going through, it appears. New York Ninja sounds good from Fear Monarch. I haven't seen that either. I used to be a big fan of the really cheesy canon ninja movies. I had that as part of when I used to do intros to my streams, which I stopped doing because, hey, he wants to watch an intro, you know what I mean? I think that's why I kept getting demonetized on them. It was like sword and ninja action in the beginning of my opening. Like, you can't show ninjas on YouTube. What's going on? But yeah, Enter the Ninja, Revenge of the Ninja, those two, I used to love those back in the day. They were awesome. Spies Like Us had a ninja scene in it. So did Moonlighting, the TV show. Bruce Willis, remember that? One episode anyway, I remember that. And I'm trying not to speak too fast again. Jesus. You all think I'm on something. I'm having some nice, it's not bourbon, it looks like it, or whiskey, it's barley tea. Yeah, right. No, it is, I swear. It's early. Mugi cha, low spec if you're still there. Mugi cha. Japanese love it in summertime. So what's he saying? I hear they did Mr. Miyagi semi-dirty. Your thoughts? Yeah, that's a good point. It's not played out yet, but basically, without spoiling, I'll say there's a new plot thread where maybe, possibly, Mr. Miyagi did something maybe illegal when he was younger, but it's not played out. So no, I think they're just kind of like trying to find plot points, story things to give it a bit of interest, and how do they bring him into it? Maybe they're trying to teach Daniel a lesson where nobody's perfect, but you shouldn't judge people on just one. My God, what we're talking about in this modern generation, this modern world, Twitter cancel culture. You shouldn't judge people on like one mistake. Remember when that, used to happen? Anyway, so it's, I don't know. I kind of like, it felt like it was like, why, not like, why are they doing this to the character? Just, they were looking for a plot thread to me. Didn't really bother me. Not enough Chosen. He's in it, but not enough. We need more Chosen. He's quite funny though, walking around in his weird dressing gown and it looks like no pants. And Daniel's wife's like, "What's going on?" I think she's looking for a bit of Chosen action. What do you reckon? Barlord saying, "I haven't seen a single episode of Cobra Kai. I thought the first 2 seasons were really good. Really good, seriously. Worth a look. Very funny as well." And Johnny was just like, kind of like taking the piss out of the whole modern cancel culture woke nonsense, that's been going on for years. Telling it like it is. Nosferatu, I remember one time Gray used a nail file and sawed someone's pinky to the knuckle. All for taking his karaoke spot. Oh man, it's cool. No, the way that you get revenge for like on karaoke is you put like 10 songs in at once, and then you get to sing 10 songs, or people have to keep like cancelling it to get to their song. Whatever. Gray did a Rick James rail before the stream, confirmed. I don't even know what that means. Chosen one. Philharmonic. So yeah, that was it. That's basically Cobra Kai. It's alright, but it kind of peaked, didn't it? Maybe season 3? Maybe season 4? They didn't really need to keep going, but money. And it is still better. It's still more entertaining than a lot of what's going on, what's out there. Right. The other thing I want to talk about, and this is a pretty serious topic. Here we go. Surprise, surprise. On a Grey stream. And to make this easy, I'm just going to share my screen. It's notable how there's almost radio silence about this story. Alleged allegations against somebody. Oh my goodness, it's not letting me share. Why is that? Okay, there we go. Hello there. Oh, it's gone weird. It's gone weird. What's going on? I've got to do that, haven't I? Jesus, Graham, what a boomer. So this happened, the story broke 2 weeks ago, yeah, and I've clicked on news and there's nothing recent. I think the most recent news I can find about it that's been reported is a few days ago, only by a very few sites. Most sites are not covering this at all, and there have been various reasons given for. Because Neil Gaiman is such a big name these days, he's got the power, or he has the connections to have it closed down, or because the allegations were kind of dismissed as not having, just being a little bit too, word of mouthy. There's not enough evidence to back them up, things like that. But I tell you, look at this. These are the first things that come up with news. Oh, 2 weeks ago, yeah? Keep going. Next, again, it's 2 weeks ago. 1 week ago, we have the Economic Times from the UK, I guess that is, saying that Neil Gaiman denies the sexual assault allegations, of course. Of course he denies them. The latest thing I've got here is 1 day ago, and it's only Bleeding Fool, which is covering this at the moment. There's hardly anyone covering it, apart from on YouTube. There are people covering it on YouTube, but here we go. This is the latest news. An appearance by Neil Gaiman has been cancelled in wake of sexual assault allegations. Again, it's all allegations, yeah? One of his public speaking appearances has been cancelled according to the following information provided by a writer for Tortoise Media, which are the ones that broke the news. Basically, it's from a podcast. With a police report to back them up. Okay, there we go. It looks like the reports have indeed had some negative effect on Gaiman's career and reputation, though, as some may have noticed, any coverage by the comics specialty press has been very muted. That's what I've noticed. There's been nothing said about it in a lot of the supposed mainstream comic book sites. Last time I looked, comic-centric sources like Bleeding Cool, Newsarama, Comics Beat, even Popverse haven't said anything at all. Only Bleeding Fool, that's me, I'm a bleeding fool, CBR and Comic Book Movie seem to have reported anything. Most peculiar that the Believe All Women liberal establishment in comicdom has apparently chosen to ignore this potentially serious issue. There have been a few more articles since then, however, and then the following from Airmail, I don't know what that is. It's largely behind a paywall though, so I've not bothered clicking on it. It does have something most eyebrow-raising to say about one of Gaiman's The Sandman comic book issues. Now, I know the issue they're going to refer to. I've read The Sandman. I read it when it was coming out years ago. I was a big fan back in the day. This is 1990, issue 17 of the comic book series of Sandman. You probably read it if you've read it. Calliope, it's called. The writer Neil Gaiman told the story of a character called Erasmus Fry. In the story, Fry is a world-renowned author with a dark secret. He had kidnapped and imprisoned a muse, who's called Calliope, whom he raped for inspiration while forcing her to call him master. For years, this story was received warmly. It was as if Gaiman had chosen to ridicule the notion of the great man of letters by explicitly showing us the toll that these men take on the people, more specifically the women around them. However, that reputation has just been complicated by a new podcast series from Tortoise Media, written by Airmail writer-at-large Rachel Johnson and Airmail contributor Paul Caruña Galizia. Wow, sorry, murdered that name. Which accuses Gaiman of sexually assaulting two women decades younger than he is. The podcast is entitled Master. According to one of his accusers, this is what he made one of the women call him. Again, it's all, alleged, it's all word of mouth. Since the time of the two allegations so far was said to have come years later, this suggests the acclaimed writer was influenced by his own work and ideas. I don't know about that. Taking them out of the pages of fiction and translating them into real life in sickening ways. Okay, let's just go on. This is a tweet from Gaiman back in 2018. Remember 2018? I don't know what he's referring to, but he said, "On a day like today, it's worth saying, I believe survivors. Men must not close our eyes and minds to what happens to women in this world. We must fight alongside them for them to be believed, at the ballot box and with art and by listening, and change this world for the better." It's a very nice statement to make, but it's strange that the believe all women has come back to haunt him, isn't it? So, here's a more recent opinion on the subject from the New Indian Express. Let's have a look. Let's click on the link and see if it takes us anywhere. The New Indian Express. I don't know how reliable this is. Just saying. No offense to if I have any Indian viewers, which I don't think I do, because I don't do reviews of RRR and stuff. Let's just quickly scan it. This is by let's see, Sharanya Manivanan, posted on the updated on the 11th of July. So again, this is like over almost 10 days ago. Let's just skip to... Okay. The allegations against Gaiman are almost stereotypical, garden variety, in their wrongness. A much older man taking advantage of much younger women, in this case women who must also have been starstruck by him, one of whom was also employed by him. Okay, keep going down. The weight of the truth and the pain. Okay, no, he's talking about someone else as well. The thing is, Gaiman has a lot more defenders, and he does. Do you think that's why it's gone so quiet? What do you reckon? Let me get back to you. Stop sharing. Back to you. Okay, let's see. See what I'm missing. What's going on? Let's catch up with the chat. Karaoke Revenge says Weird Science Comics is putting in 2112 by Rush. It makes no sense. I tell you what, the song that you can put in which will drive people crazy because it's so long is American Pie by Don McLean. Nothing wrong with the song, but it goes on for like about 20 minutes. As I found out when someone put it on. Not me, I would point out, not me. Oh, comics, gay, says Nosferatu. I've lost. Am I live now? 6:23 in Europe. My goodness. Yeah, it's strange, isn't it? It's gone very quiet. It's almost like media silence on it. So, again, I'm not taking sides either way. I used to like his work. I used to read Neil Gaiman's work. I was a fan of The Sandman back in the day, but over recent years, I've kind of lost my admiration for him, or for a lot of things he's come out and said. Basically, say if you don't like the changes they made to certain characters in TV adaptations of some of his series, of some of his work, you're a ist, you're a phobe, you're a blah blah blah. So anyway, I kind of lost interest then. You know what I'm like, I don't go on these things too much. Let's see what Salty's got to say. I know, yeah. Again, I don't really follow it, and I don't want to be, what do you call it, reactionary or shocking and all that, but I'm just surprised by the silence in his case, whereas you have recent other cases where they were conversely, they basically completely cancelled them, and it was massive news all over the place. It's strangely quiet. Okay, I heard he's going through a divorce with his open relationship younger wife. Yeah, Amanda Palmer, the artist, musician. The allegations are, in my humble opinion, not entirely believable. Yeah. Gaiman is a leftist tool, but cancel culture needs to stop. It certainly does, and I don't agree with anything to do with cancel culture at all. Hey, Dwayne, how you doing? Great to see you. CBR is a stinky cat box of comics reporting. Yeah, I don't have much faith in it. But that's why I was kind of surprised they were still covering the story, but yeah, nonsense. You want comics to be big, you need rock stars again. In quotes by Fearmonic. You want rock stars, you got to excuse a little groupie grabbing at some level. Well, that's it, isn't it? If you believe the allegations, all the two cases to talk about are, of age. They are like, I think in the 20s or early 20s when it happened, supposedly, allegedly. The problem is, it's more about the power relationship, an abuse of power as an employer. You should not do that to any of your employees. If someone's working for you, you shouldn't be able to take advantage of that at all. It's if it's true. If it's not, then you got to feel for the guy. Where are we? Salty, I'll never forgive what Gaiman did to Sandman on Netflix. Oh God, yeah. Yeah, man. I don't know what to say about that apart from no interest in that series at all. He sold his soul for rock and roll, no, for money. Sold his soul for money. Good writer, says Dwayne Muth. Yes, he is, but an eccentric goofball who's too damn smug for his own good. Yeah, but doesn't this happen to a lot of our so-called heroes? As they get older and older, age, they kind of, I don't know, they lose the plot, or they start to believe all their own bullshit, or maybe all the adulation has an effect, It would be hard not to have an effect on you. Yeah, I don't know. Stephen King, looking at you. Who else? You could make a list, couldn't you? But anyway, as I say, I try and stay out of all this nonsense, but I just thought it was very interesting, shall we say, that it's gone radio silent. To be fair, Salty, most adaptations get butchered by Netflix. This is true, Fearmonic, regardless of creator involvement outside of ODA. Yeah. The thing was, they didn't need to make the changes. It was already, liberal enough. That's what people seem to forget. Sandman was a great series, and it was very liberal. It was ahead of its time. It had really strong parts for gay, for trans, for, bisexual characters. But what pissed me off the most was changing the Death, not so much race swapping Death, but you had this iconic looking character, Death, with the gothic look based on a gothic friend. Fantastic image, a really iconic character, and to change that to because you believe the actress could do a better job, that's what he was saying, or Death can take any form. If that's true, yeah, that is true, but why is it not in the comics? Maybe once she appeared as a cat. Why not cast her as a cat? Bast, the goddess of cats, things like that. It's just, I don't know, that just really kind of took me out. Oh, and also the Lady Constantine as well, not the early version of her John's ancestor, but they made Joanne Constantine in the modern day as well. John Constantine's a fucking awesome character. I loved him for years, and they swapped him to Clara from Doctor Who because 2018 or 2019, it's just, Jesus Christ, can't you just keep some cool original characters and make new original characters, for a female or for a bi or trans or whatever, any creed or colour? But hey, that's ridiculous, isn't it, saying that? For karaoke, Hey Jude, says Weird Science Comics. That is a classic. That gets everyone singing. I tell you what's become really good these days, Jim, if you're still there, and Salty, for karaoke. And even in Japan, the whole place starts singing it, is Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen. And yes, I know it's a long song, but that gets the whole place going. Even Japanese people who can't speak English, they can sing lines of that song. It's fantastic. It's so much fun. And it's actually not easy to sing as in the high notes or the low notes. It's not too fast if you think about it. You know, the build up, the slow build up. So it is easy to sing. Beatles are always hugely popular with Japanese people who like to try and sing English karaoke because they're fairly slow, the lyrics, you know. Same with the Carpenters, another very popular choice, by the way. If you notice how I cleverly sidestepped to the controversial topic and moved on to karaoke. Thanks to you in the chat. You guys, excuse me, you guys and girls rule. Losing my voice. And I didn't even sing any karaoke last night. I didn't go out, by the way. I was in watching the end of Cobra Kai, as I said, season 6, the first part, sorry. And I've been watching Kevin Costner's Horizon, his latest Western epic. And I tell you what, I don't care what people are saying. I love it. I think it's really, really entertaining. It's really good. There's an incredible Native American Indian attack on a settlement at the beginning. It's just like, Jesus, they don't hold back, you know. They're showing like both sides, but mainly from the Native Americans. You know, they wiped them out, man. Jesus, it's pretty severe, pretty harsh, but I like the way, you know, he's showing it from both sides. Yeah, and there's some gorgeous shots of American landscapes. You know, beautiful scenery. It's worth watching just for those. I've not quite finished it because it's like 3 hours. 3 hours, guys. Can you believe it? Iron Butterfly, 18 minutes, says Dwayne. I don't know that one. No way. Let's have a look. I love... I'm always open for suggestions for karaoke, by the way. If you've got requests, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to sing here, but next time I'm out, I will try. Iron Butterfly Rock Band. Why don't I know this? 1968. Inagada da Vida. Wow. Brilliant. I love these awesome, like, what you call it. My English is going terrible these days. Again, Mrs. Wakizashi was laughing at me because I couldn't remember the word for bagels before. My God. What do you call it when you go whoosh, like that? Jesus. You know what I'm talking about, don't you? I keep wanting to say sidestepping. Iron Butterfly is an American rock band formed in San Diego, California in 1966. Dwayne, you're showing your age, mate. I'm joking. That was a great year, by the way, 66. That's when England last won. England soccer team last won like a major competition. Start crying now. We only won the World Cup once, and it was in 66. And surprisingly, it was held in England. Home bias. Anyway, where are we? They're best known for the 1968 hit Inagada da Vida. I don't even know how to say that. Living la vida loca. No, that's something else. It remains their bestseller. Iron Butterfly was the first group to receive an in-house Platinum Album Award from Atlantic Records. There we go. So thanks for that, Dwayne. That was awesome. Let's get to the chart. You guys, you'll save me, won't you, with my English? It's called... No, it's not. It's not Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. Salty. It's not that. Too many years. Too many donkey bongs back in the day, maybe. Ruined my brain. No, it's comics, isn't it? I thought comics rotted your brain. That's what me bro used to always told me. And he was right, wasn't he, Jim? He was right. Right, I'm going to focus on you guys in the chat. Come on, let's catch up. And great to see you all, by the way. Oh, I never read anything by Heidi MacDonald, Dwayne, I know. Fearmonic saying, I don't expect any adaptations to be really that good. Fully expect them to be tied up in endless red tape where they have to say only positives about changes. I think a lot of it from what I've been hearing or reading is about, you know, funding, and if you do kind of focus or you include a lot of the DEI, you know, guidelines or whatever things, you're going to get a lot more money towards your shows. So I think that's why a lot of it is happening, is what I've heard. It's what I've heard. It doesn't exist, but I remember Stan Sakai even glazing the Usagi show for a moment it existed. Really? Really? Oh my God, I don't remember. Alan Moore, I can't even read, Jim. Help me, Jim. Help me, Jim. You're my only hope. Alan Moore is slightly jaded. Just slightly. Ever so slightly. Great British writer. but another clever guy looking down on comics. Mick, no way, you met Gaiman about 20 years ago at a comic shop opening. He seemed pretty smug back then. I remember you telling me this story, and I'm paraphrasing here, I could have it mixed up, but did you meet him? Was he out with Dave McKean back in the day when he used to be friends with Dave McKean, until he went surprisingly, or unsurprisingly, radio silent when Dave McKean was being attacked for being an Islamophobe. Ridiculous now. Anyway, from what I remember from the story, Mick told me is that he met them both. I think it was them at a comic book signing, and they were just a bit like, just a bit smug back in the day. Or what were they talking about? Oh, should we go and see the Brandenburg Gate thingy or something like that? I don't know. Just sounded like, nerds like me. Whitesnakes, Here I Go Again is my karaoke go-to. That's brilliant, Salty. Can you hit the notes? I can't. I'd do it if I could. Yeah, I know, Fearmon, especially Netflix is basically making everything they make immediately lost media with no physical copies. Which reminds me, how insane was it they cancelled Daredevil? If you look back at Daredevil, the Netflix version, okay, season 3 wasn't as good as the first 2, but that was a great show. If you go back and watch that now, it's unbelievable that it got cancelled. Was that Disney shenanigans, do you think? We're taking over Marvel. Fearmon is saying he has a retro shirt of the Beatles performing in Tokyo. There were huge protests, by a certain group, shall we say, in Japan when they were coming, because they were going to perform in the Budokan, where they have the sumo wrestling in Tokyo. It was very famous. Yeah, but it didn't stop them playing. Country Road was big when I was in college, but I went to West Virginia University. It says Weird Science Comics. I love the background on the Beatles Japan show. Oh, do you really? I need to look that up, because I've only seen, old footage and stuff and photos. It's been years. Yeah, I want to know more about that, Jim. Good to know Gray gets the same feeling I get for watching Trapping in Japan with city footage of Japan cities. What? I love Japan. I love... I'll even watch some of those, walking through Tokyo in the rain, like night videos and stuff in 4K. I love it. Just zone out to them. Wishing I was going to Midnight Diner, guys. Oh my God, I wish it was real. Dwayne saying Gaiman was in Toronto for a book signing, and I wasn't giving up a day of work. My friends got me some autographs. Yeah, as I say, back in the day I would have liked to have got his autograph, but no, I'm not interested. He was very big on the cancel culture and stuff. It's a shame, isn't it? It's a shame. Never meet your heroes, they say, don't they? Watch the episode of Simpsons where Bart sells his soul. God, I'd have to look it up, Fearmonic. It's mad, isn't it? They're still going. just laughing at a comment. Jim just catching my eye here. I enjoyed American Gods. They got the book when it came out. I enjoyed it very much. Smug equals being British. Oh, Jesus. Where are we? Do I have a British clip? I don't think I do. No, I don't. I'm going to have to cast a spell on you, Jim, from Excalibur for that. Nicole Williamson is a fantastically bonkers Merlin. Goodness gracious, how I love that movie. Love the writing and none of the ninny tootsie behaviour, says Dwayne. Exactly, mate. That's what I normally do. That's why I'm reading, Mark Waid stuff. I just try not to focus on, just forget about the artists most of the time. But with Gaiman and Sandman and Netflix, it just kind of, I don't know. Maybe I took it a bit too personally, but he's basically branding me because I objected to the changes to the characters. Branding me a racist and whatever, blah blah blah. So anyway. Yo, Boosh is in the house. We are all safe now. Boosh, great to see you. And mate, I finished the Dennis Lehane book I was reading, Small Mercies. Absolutely loved it. I immediately bought Mystic River. I saw the movie years ago, by the way, but before I rewatched the movie, which I did start. I'm reading the book and it's excellent. I'm only 100 pages into it. Mystic River. It's a 400 page, just over 400 page book. So I'm maybe a quarter of the way in. Absolutely fantastic. Character writing, brilliant suspense. Just really, really good. It's all about the characters, isn't it? It's so, so good. And that reminds me, while I've got my American friends in the chat, please shout out any recommendations you've got for maybe, it doesn't have to be Boston set, but, you know, really good either crime, drama, or movies set in America, you know, showing the streets, that kind of thing. I've seen The Wire. I've started watching The Shield, which is good. I've never seen that before. I'm getting into The Shield, but I want something more like, you know, what do you call it? Really like working class, like Mystic River style Boston, the working class side of it. Season 2 of The Wire, I want that kind of thing. So if you can shout out anything you recommend, even if it's old is fine. Doesn't have to be recent. Beatles Anthology, Dwayne, 5 volumes in the huge hardcover. God, I loved that series when it was coming out. I used to watch them back in the day of TV. Hey, great to see you, a man of Manetherin in the chat. Hail Grey. Yes, adapting stuff has mostly been shite for decades and just getting worse. But then we do get a few gems. Indeed, you're right, mate, including Shogun, which was fantastic. Absolutely brilliant. And Dark Matter. Okay, did you finish that, Nathan? Because I ended up getting bored and I stopped watching about, is it 4 or 5 episodes in? I know, maybe short attention span, but I don't know, I kind of lost my interest in it. Sorry to say that, but, you know. What else has been good, though, recently? I'm sure we've had some more decent, like, adaptations. I'm going to say Cobra Kai, but it's not very good. Season 6 so far. Rubbish, says Tim's Talk. Rubbish. How you doing, Tim? Bunch of blokes. I know, right? Another dull evening at Stonehenge. What's going on? What's happening? Mystic River is phenomenal. Thank you, mate. Yeah, I agree. I'm loving it. Weird Science says, I just rewatched the anthology and listened to the 43 hours Beatles book, the audio book. Tune in. Jesus, Jim, 43 hours. That is impressive. That is amazing. I know you were talking about that, weren't you, recently? Behind the scenes with me, backstage, we say. Sounds great, but 43 hours, Jesus. I've seen Sopranos as well, thanks. So yeah, Sopranos, I've probably seen most of them, but that kind of like, you know, just the working class side of America, I'm really into that, the street level. The Shield, I'll continue with that then. It's worth keeping with it. It was the LA setting, I don't know, is it LA? Yeah, it wasn't as kind of like a bit too flash, not flash, what's the word, you know what I mean? I wanted more of a working class side of it, but I guess it does show that as well, does it? Better Call Saul, Fearmont Grey, and Breaking Bad. Yes, I've seen them both. I haven't finished Better Call Saul yet. Crime, I know, right? Criminal by Brubaker and Phillips. Dwayne, did you hear the news? It is getting an adaptation. I think, shock horror, it might be Amazon, so it could be terrible or it could be awesome. I'm hoping it's going to be awesome. And I could be wrong, I think it's Amazon. Yeah, I've heard an adaptation is in the works. Shall we look this up? Yes, let's. But the comic book series is what's the word? Incredible. Criminal by Brubaker and I'm typing in Criminal Ed Brubaker. Sean Phillips. My dear old bro, he sent me a hardcover. I think one of the collections of that. Absolutely awesome. I used to buy them on digital when it was coming out. Love it so much. Let's see, adaptation, TV adaptation. I found about this thanks to Weird Science, and if you're not a member of the Patreon, Weird Science, you can join the Slack if you join the Patreon. Totally cheap, totally worth it. Yeah, thanks to that. I think it was Gabe that posted something to it. A link about it. Where are we? Which one shall I click on? They've got Hollywood Reporter, Variety, or Deadline. God knows. They're all a bit dodgy, aren't they? Okay, let's share screen. Dun, 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 Jim, by the way, if you're still there, I've got the Talking Morrison with Grey in my head from earlier. Oh, I just had that in my head. I'm going to play that later for you if you've not heard it, folks. Okay, here we go. Richard Jenkins joins Amazon series adaptation of Ed Brubaker graphic novel Criminal. Not just graphic novel, folks, it was a comic book series, I'll have you know. Richard Jenkins has been cast in Amazon Prime Video's upcoming series adaptation of the Criminal graphic novels. Nice. The series was originally ordered at Amazon back in January this year. Jenkins is the first confirmed cast member. The show is described as an interlocking universe of crime stories based on the graphic novels by Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips. Hail to Sean Phillips, by the way. Oh my god, I loved his work on Hellblazer back in the day. Jenkins will play Ivan. The character is described as Leo's dad's best friend and has always been an uncle figure to him. He used to be a robber and a criminal, but is now currently suffering from dementia. Leo is trying to care for him, but realises he's more work than can handle. Let's keep going. Jenkins is a highly respected actor with the rare ability to do comedy and drama in seemingly equal measure. He received Oscar nominations for his performances in the films The Shape of Water and The Visitor. He's also starred in drama like Nightmare Alley, Killing Me Softly, no comment, North Country and The Company You Keep. Okay, let's just skip that to more on the show, hopefully. Go down. Brubaker will serve as co-showrunner and executive producer on Criminal, along with Jordan Harper. Phillips also executive produces, as does Sarah Carbiener and Philip Barnett. Ryan Fleck and Anna Boden will direct the first 4 episodes. Legendary Television will also serve as an executive producer. The series is produced by Amazon MGM Studios. Okay, interesting. I didn't know the MGM involvement there. Let's get back to you. Sus Gabe. Yeah. Sus Gabe. Oh, that's awesome. He's ace though, isn't he? He's ace Gabe. I love it. I love his takes. He gave Predator issue 1 a 9 out of 10. Jim has never let him forget it. And now Sus Gabe has become like, it's kind of become a meme. It's stuck with him. I don't think he's happy about it. Moshiroi. Sorry, Japanese it means. It's funny. On Moshiroi. I forgot to do my Japanese lesson, didn't I? Oh no! The beginning of the stream. I've been doing like a very simple, like one word or one phrase Japanese lesson for you, folks. It's hard to say, but the word omoshiroi can have many meanings, but officially it translates as interesting. But you know, it's like the English interesting. It can have many different meanings, can't it? Omoshiroi. There we go. Geisha, says Boosh. We have a wild gooch in the chat. Awesome. Yo, what's up? Great to see you, mate. We were talking about Shogun earlier, thanks to Nathan Manamanethrin was reminding me of a really good recent modern adaptation of a fantastic source material. So good. 9 out of 10 for Predator. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. And what's your Roy? Yo! What's this? Come on, Boosh. I didn't know you spoke Japanese. Shall I read this out? I'll try to read it out for you. This is your Romaji, Roman lettering. Omae wa no shindeiru. Omae wa shinderu. Cinderella, anyone? It's basically saying you are dead, or you're a dead man. You're dead, mate. You're dead. Oh dear, it's turning into Japanese show. Shield Wall, great to see you. It has been a while, mate. It's been we're talking Japanese. I really think so. We're talking Japanese and we summon you up. Isn't that interesting? For that, I've got to drop this. I think it's a safe to play, very short, awesome samurai clip from Shogun. Never get old. Never get old watching that. It's so good. Fantastic. Hi, says Boosh. Lady Fuji is the best thing about the new Shogun. She stole the show. She was awesome. Mate, the just the general acting throughout that. Even Cosmo, is he called Cosmo, the British actor? I didn't like him to start with, as John Blackthorne. Anjin-san! I didn't like him, but he grew on me. He actually got better. He was quite funny at times. I liked his swearing was pretty awesome. He had a dirty mouth, didn't he? He kept that from the books as well. That's awesome. She was so good. The emotive acting by the Japanese actors, man, they really get you. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's a Japanese bias in me. I'm a softie. I'm a what do you call it? I'm a teddy bear for a Japanese woman. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? That's how I ended up here. I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm grey des. I'm not gay des. Okay, boosh. I'll have you know. It's good that you know two different ways of saying you. By the way, omae is what men use to each other. Omae wa, you. Kimi is a softer version. It's a nicer version, which you often use to your girlfriend or your lady friend, or it's a nice way to say. Anata can be a bit cold, a bit rude. Not rude, but anata. And anta can be very rude. There we go. So yeah, thanks for that. I wasn't sure about Mariko-sama either, Boosh, and folks in the chat. I wasn't sure about her. Didn't like her in Monarch, the awful Apple TV Godzilla show. Whew, that was terrible. Didn't like her in that. But she got better as it went on, and I ended up liking her by the end. So there we go. Fair play. But yeah, Lady Fuji, she was awesome, man. Okay, you were the same, were you? You didn't like Blackthorne for the first 4 episodes. Yeah. He was either very flat or way too hammy. He was hamming it up, wasn't he? He really was, but he did get better. Okay, I'm getting requests from Jim here. Look up Rick Moranis singing Turning Japanese. I will. As soon as it's you, baby, I will. Anything for you. Rick Moranis. That always makes you want to go, suddenly Seymour. Rick Moranis, Turning Japanese. You get cancelled for that, wouldn't you? For that show by the Vapors. That song, sorry. The Vapors. Fantastic. Let me have a look at this. I'm too scared to play it because I'll get nuked on YouTube, but I will watch it later. It starts off with he's singing it like, I've got your picture. Is it like a lounge singer? It's pretty awesome. I'm going to share the screen, show you how old it looks. Look at this. Where are we? I might risk just playing a couple of seconds. It's just YouTube. They're horrible about music. Look how old this looks. Here we go, folks. Jim, I don't care about monetization on the stream, so just say if I get hit for copyright, I'm blaming you.
I want the doctor to take a picture.
It's a great version. I love it. Oh dear.
So I can look at you from inside as well.
That's enough. I'm too scared. I know, I'm such a pussy, aren't I? I love that song, by the way. I didn't know what it was about for years. Young Innocent Grey, had no idea. Yo, Jacob, in the house. Great to see you. And that's awesome. By the way, speaking of that, I want to share with you, well, while Jim's here for once, I'm always bigging up Jim. Jim is awesome. Weird Science Comics. Come on, if you're not subscribed to his channel, and basically, I know, Jim's killing me. He's killing me with views. I'm so jealous. For every 1 view I get, Jim gets at least 10. He's times 10ing me to death, but he's made a fantastic Jimi Hendrix AI song about, I think it's about X-Men. Let me see if I can find the right one, the right video. It's under members, so only members, can watch it. Sorry, folks. Let's have a look. Watch on YouTube. I can watch it because I'm a member of my own club, you know what I mean? Okay, I'm going to play it from the beginning. Should I take that chance? Should I take a chance? Take a chance on Grey? You know, YouTube, I might even get hit for copyright for this because it sounds just like Jimi Hendrix. You guys want to know? Do you guys want to hear it? You do, don't you? And great to see you, by the way. Everyone who's here. I'm like this. I worship you all. Do you know that? You know how amazing you are? You've totally genkied me up. Thank you so much. Right, share screen. Jim, you don't mind, do you? You got to hear this. Got to hear this song he made. It's unbelievable. It's original lyrics, so it should be okay, but it sounds just like Jimmy.
Won't you come along? Don't need to tell you why. I said, I'm here with Gray. You might not quite understand. Here we go, reading the X-Men.
Come on. Come on. How amazing is that? Come on. That is so, so good. I love it. Absolutely love it. Woo. How do you know? You're supposed to keep that quiet. Jesus. I don't beat you by 10 in the pants, says Jim. Jim's just jealous really because I'm so tall. I'm a bloody lanky tall Englishman in Japan. Yeah, Dwayne, I knew you'd like that. How good is that song? It's bloody awesome. Jesus. He even wrote an original one, a general song for all the Morrison comic book reviews we do. It's kind of a psychedelic Beatles style song, but Jim sings it himself. It's his voice. And if you're lucky, I'll share that with you near the end as well. I'm only going to be going, oh my God, it's almost time. I was going to go for an hour because I've got to go to the clinic, folks, for my happy finish later on. I wish I do. The Morrison songs are when Jim shines for musical songs. I tell you, firm on it, you should hear some of the Battle of the Bands he's been doing with his co-host, Eric Shea, America's Sweetheart, on the podcast. They're amazing. There's some fantastic songs out there. I was in Manchester in the 90s, says Jim. Did you see me at that gay club on Canal Street? The reason I used to go to the gay clubs because they were some of the safest to go out dancing, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Say no more. Say no more. Seriously. And you could always get something, shall we say, something good to keep your energy going, if you know what I mean, in those clubs. I just say that. And I'll stop. All your comment reviews are saving me cash, says Dwayne. Tell you, mate, I'm not going to go on about it, but my it happens every summer. My views are just tanking at the moment. I don't know if it's a general malaise, with the comic industry, that kind of thing. I don't know. I don't know what it is. But yeah, Jim's doing pretty well. I'm not jealous, I swear. I'm not jealous. Anyway, where are we? Hey, man. So, yes, I'm not finishing yet. Although, I don't know why, for some reason, no one's watching me today. There's only 8 people watching. How dare you? Where's my Greta clip? How dare you? I'm just checking the studio page, and there's no warnings about copyright. I think we're okay. Because I know the reason Jim made that original song, by the way, is so, it doesn't get hit on YouTube, because he knows that I drop them on YouTube, and he drops them on the Patreon. That's why I usually limit them to members only. Sorry, folks. There's a very small paywall for those. It's in a desperate attempt to get new members. Do you know how many I got? 0. Anyway, but yeah. Let me catch up with you guys again in the chat. This has gone completely all over the place. You need to do more full run-throughs on your channel. Do you reckon, Fearmonic? Is that the problem? I don't want to spoil, comics, so I always I stop about halfway through. The longest one I did was the Ultimate X-Men issue 5. I almost went to the end with that, but even though I didn't, I missed out quite a lot of important things because a lot happened at the end of that, by the way. It's like, wow. Yeah, I just don't like to spoil them. People love you on the best of show. Yeah, Jim, come on. Yeah, you always say that. Maybe after the new Deadpool movie, things will pick up. Yeah, maybe Shield Wall. That's actually dropping, I think it might be not early, but it drops on the Wednesday next week in Japan. So, yeah, do I drop a spoiler review? I'm definitely going to go and see it, but I've got work as well, so I don't know how I'm going to balance that out. Work, eh? What are you going to do? So, yeah, before we finish, I just want to shout out, the chat has been amazing. You guys, going off on a tangent. That was the word I was looking for before. I was tangenting. I was going all over the place, wasn't I? That's what you get with Wakizashi Waffles. But it was good to chat a little bit about Cobra Kai Season 6. As I say, not great, not terrible. It gets better if you want to watch it. If you kind of put the first 2 episodes on high speed, you can do that with Netflix. God, I wish you could do that with other series. Yeah, it's worth a look. Horizon, Kevin Costner, I recommend. But I'm a bit of a sucker for the Western with the gorgeous, American landscapes, and there's an incredible, as I say, an incredible Native American Indian attack at the beginning of that. Woo! Mind-blowing stuff. Really good, really good. What else? Yeah, should do old stuff. Maybe I should. I've tried it though, people. I've done stuff in the past where I've covered old things, like, funny enough, Sandman issue. I thought I did a really good review of like a reading of Sandman issue 1, but it did nothing back in the day. I was thinking about starting another, not show so much as doing like an indie, just because that doesn't get views anyway, but for me, for trying to push some indie titles that you might never have heard of. And I'm talking about small press stuff, not so much the really good Image stuff at the moment, even Dark Horse, but some of the smaller press like Mad Cave. They've been releasing some good things recently, so I might do that. It's just time, mate. You know what I mean? Trying to find time. Waffles in 3D. Gray brings his A game. Thanks, Salty. And you're a star, mate. I will see you later for a what do you call it? For the favour I asked you, ladies. Old Stuff Bomb says Weird Science Jim. Yeah. I just think comics, I don't know. There's a general malaise, isn't there? If I was a young, attractive Japanese lady, doing no bra videos, I'm probably getting thousands and thousands of views. What are you gonna do? On that note, let's close things off. I wanted to drop this at the end. Thank you so much for watching this far, you stars. People, you probably heard this already, but this is the Talking Morrison song that Jim did. This is a psychedelic one, which I love. So let's end the show with this. Here we go. I'm going to put my headphones on so I can listen to. And again, thanks so much for watching. You guys and girls rule. I hope to see you in a future video. This has been great. Lacking his genkiness a little bit. Losing his mojo. Wakizashi Teahouse saying, Mata ne.
Listen up.